Good evening. Now your STV news, including the headlines for air. Scotland's First Minister has condemned police attacks on voters in Catalonia's independence referendum. Nicola Sturgeon is calling for mediation to resolve Spain's future peacefully. 42% of Catalans voted yesterday, 90% of them backing independence. But the EU says the referendum was not legal and is calling on both sides to talk. A fourth allegation of bullying has been made against the Chief Constable of Police Scotland. Phil Gormley is already on a period of leave while the previous complaints are investigated. It's understood the latest claim has been made by a member of police staff. Scottish Secretary David Mundell has urged Nicola Sturgeon to clearly and unambiguously rule out a second independence referendum. Mr Mundell told the UK Conservative Conference that installing Ruth Davidson as First Minister was the only way to avoid a fresh vote on independence. One of the rarest and most expensive single malt whiskies is going on sale for £30,000. The Glenlivet collection has been aged for 70 years by Elgin-based whisky specialists Gordon and MacPhail. The cask was laid down during the Second World War, when the means to make whisky were in short supply.
This whisky is truly one of the most incredible, rarest whiskies ever released. Coming from the middle of the Second World War, when production was extremely limited, and the demand for raw materials was actually tightly controlled by the government.
And the main headlines in air: a robber who held up a petrol station shop using two poles taped together to look like a shotgun has been jailed for 4 years. At the High Court in Glasgow, 37-year-old Scott Homer admitted assaulting and robbing an employee at Auchenharvie petrol station in Stevenston. And Kilmarnock have confirmed that Lee McCulloch has stepped down as manager. The former Rugby Park player has failed to record a league win since taking permanent charge of the club in the summer. That's all we have time for just now. Remember to join us for the STV News at 6. Now it's time for a look at the weather. Good evening.
STV Weather, sponsored by Thompson. STV Weather, sponsored by Thompson.